Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to Pankatsu Akuma. So you guys on YouTube probably don't know this, but I've been taking a break for about a week now. Last week I was supposed to play Pankatsu Akuma, or I was supposed to record Pankatsu Akuma, but I decided to play, or record more Amayui instead. Like, it's not like I dislike this game, it's just the fact that I feel like these sort of games are just not the type of games that I play on a consistent basis, right? These type of games are nice occasionally to play, but the types of games that I feel like are really pulling me in is something like Amayui. You know, it has good gameplay, it has good story, it makes me contemplate about stuff. I post this on my Patreon post usually, right? But I did say the fact that the problem with these games is that I feel like they always bring about good topics. Like, the first the second route that we did with Emmy, right? It's gonna take me a while to remember the names again, guys. It's been a week. But yeah, the second route that we did with Emmy, I think that she made a good point about how the hell we are actually supposed to know what love is when, it doesn't really have a form. It doesn't have anything that you can trust physically, right? And I really dislike the fact that, the physical manifestation of love is sex, because it's bullshit, right? I'm a realist person. Like, two of my siblings, my sister, my brother, both of them have kids. So they had sex multiple times, right? And kids are the physical manifestation of love too, right? And yet, they both divorced. So I feel like love, or the physical stuff when it comes to love is bullshit. So that's why it was kind of bothering me when I was playing this game, and which route was it? I don't think it was necessarily Riria's route that bothered me, but the whole concept of love and how they try to make it so that it's as easy as, if you love someone, have sex with them. I don't like that. I really dislike that. And I've been also kind of contemplating about life in general. I know I'm talking about something pretty weird in a game that's supposed to be lighthearted, right? But this is just the type of person I am, guys, and these type of lighthearted stories actually make me think more about why people are showing these sort of stories. I think these sort of stories are made because it's trying to show you the false reality, right? These games, I feel like they're definitely games that people escape to. These are very much escapism games, and while I sorta don't mind them, I also feel like it's kind of sad. I mean, I don't know whether or not this is actually true or not, right? I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just deducing this on my own. I don't know whether or not the author of this game actually thought that far ahead about, this is to milk people's loneliness, this is to milk people who are sad. If they play this game, they're gonna run away from reality for a bit and then they're gonna enjoy their time and whatnot. To some degree, I guess you can say that's not just this game. Like, games in general, it's not necessarily just trying to tell a story, it's trying to tell a good story, right? Where you don't feel sad about stuff in your where you can forget about your real world problems and you can get engrossed in the game's world. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. It's just, I don't know. I feel like lately I've just been feeling a bit awkward. Like, I'm thinking about what the hell actually makes me happy. And I know that it's different from everyone, right? For everyone, I mean. Like, what makes you happy is not necessarily what makes me happy. Like, some person can say, as long as I have my family, they're happy, but I don't necessarily think I'm happy as long as I have my family. it's a really hard thing to answer, I guess, is what I'm trying to say though. But I guess I'm gonna just talk about this like my rant in an update video, probably like a New Year's video. So I'll be making it on Sunday, most likely, or maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll make it in 2 days. Right now it's the 30th of December, guys. So for people on YouTube, you guys are gonna be seeing this in 2025. I don't know when. Probably sometime around, I don't know, June, July. Probably around that time. Maybe even longer. But yeah, I guess let me do my last episode recap before we like continue on. So in the last episode, we finished off Ruria's route. And Ruria's route, I guess, really made me think about the whole concept of this game too, right? Because Ruria's route wasn't real. Wait, maybe it was Ruria's route that triggered me. Maybe it was Ruria's route. I'm starting to remember bits and bits of the route now, and I remember that her mom was saying about something ridiculous about how you're supposed to only show your true self to someone that you love. And that bothers me. You don't necessarily need to do that to someone you love. You need to show that to someone you trust. And I think I said this on the previous episode, but the people that are around me, I definitely trust, right? Strangers, of course, I won't trust because I treat them not differently. I still treat them the same, but there are limits to the amount of stuff that I can say to them, right? Okay, I'm actually trying to think about the differences between like someone special or not. I feel like it's a very contemplative question, but the way they try to portray the answer in this game is really rubbing me the wrong way. But okay, I remember that happening at the end of Ruria's route because I saw that kid, that kid CG there at the bottom there. But yeah, that was the end of her route, other than the other after stories, which is just comedy bits and her having sex in the end. But yeah, I will be doing the next side story route today. This is not really the thing that I want really to start my first Let's Play in quite a while, but it is what it is. So we're gonna finish off the side route, and the last one is going to be Rin here. So without further ado, let's just see what she's like. After Rin, we're probably gonna finish this in one shot, in one recording session, in one episode. We're gonna do Arla and Yu. So I think we're probably gonna be done with this game in about 2 weeks. If all of these routes are going to be, like done in about 3 episodes or so. I don't necessarily know if this route or this game in particular has the harem route. Maybe that's only on the fan disc. I'll have to see whether or not I do the fan disc, guys. I said I was going to at the beginning, but as I go through the playthrough, I do feel like, it's just not something that you want to play in like long bursts. These games. So I'm kind of contemplating not doing it. What's up? Rin asks, head tilted quizzically. That pose is so cat-like that it's blindingly cute. I've invited Rin-chan over to the dorm today, and asked her why. Well, the reason is one deeper than the Marianas Trench. Well, there's something I absolutely need to discuss with you, Rin-chan. Here we go. The reason I desperately need to talk to her. That is... Truth is, I'm out of money. Why are you asking her, though? She's like working multiple jobs. Yup, flat broke. Nope, just plain broke. I've just been spending, and now, one way or another, I have none left. That's true. Oh, gee, really? Is that how money works? God, I hate you, Ren. It might not necessarily be Ren's fault that he's written this way. It's the author's fault. But my God, you're such a garbage, like, person. Goodness me, she's opened my eyes. First, I'd like to explain why the money's all gone. There are 5 parts to the cause, at least. What, you're spending your money on the girls? Why would you do that? Emmy is rich. She has, you know, a lot of spending money left from her idol job. Riria has a mom. Why the hell should you spend money for her? The others, I'm not too sure. First reason, Riria said there was a movie she wanted to watch, so I bought it for her on DVD. No, that's stupid! Well, I got it at a secondhand store, so that shouldn't be too expensive at least. I'd have been more proud of my generosity if she'd shelled out 3,000 yen for a 3-disc set or something. That's actually not too bad. 3,000 yen for a full... I'm assuming the 3-disc set is 1 season. That's actually not too bad. On to reason number 2. When Emmy and I were walking home, we stopped and binged at a candy store. It is? An appropriate opinion for Rinchan to have, working on the convenience store front lines. This time though, Emmy actually treated me to it, so it doesn't count. Yeah, see, she's rich. What, you feel indebted and then you wanna pay her back? Reason number 3, he even didn't even say that! Fuck you, Ren! I really dislike Ren, guys. First episode back and I'm already feeling, you know, the silent rage building. Probably part of the reason why I don't enjoy this series as much as I should, even though it's comedic, is probably because Ren is not someone that I can relate with. This person is just too weird. Like, I find his behavior alien to me. It doesn't make sense. He wasn't handling the cold of summer very well, so I bought her a wool blanket to carry around. Reason 4. And I don't think what Ren's doing is necessarily kind, by the way. It's idiotic. It's not kind. When you are kind to others, that you forsake yourself, that's not kind. That's idiotic. Miyabi-senpai had me test one of her new drugs, and it laid me low for a few days. Mm-hmm. Of course they're related to it. I had to buy a whole bunch of expensive supplements while I was sick. The ones that come in individual boxes. What sort of sickness did he get? I mean, I can understand buying antibiotics and stuff, but I don't think you usually need to buy anything more when you're sick. Back to the topic at hand. Nah, those were just took little bites of my funds overall. The last reason is where it gets scary. Reason 5. So, I failed the last test that Tama-chan gave us. He didn't mention Arlen. I mean, I seriously bombed it. So you're not getting your allowance or something? That's the main reason that I'm broke. Well, Tama-chan made me take a remedial test. And by her standards, that means joining her on a raid in her mobile game. So you spend money on a gacha game? You could have just failed the test. You can make it up on the next test, you know. Ugh.
玉が立派な傭兵に鍛え上げてやるのです。
Saying you'll teach me how to waste money on this doesn't make me any happier. And what exactly does whipping me into shape mean? I'm not some soldier for hire.
赤天さんに人権なんてねえのですよ。レンちゃんは今日から地球上で最下等の生命体なのです。貴様は人間ではないのです。両生動物のクスを集めた値打ちもねえのですよ。
This is going to be a bad time.
さあ、課金の時間なのです。レンちゃん、それ以上は課金しなくても大丈夫なのですよ。
How much did he spend? Tama-chan, you've got to stop me. I mean, I understand, guys, that this is supposed to mimic like people's addiction to gacha games and stuff, but man, I guess I'm one of those people that are just, when I see people like this, I actually feel like, damn, you're so trash. It's an arrogant way of looking at it, but it's also the reason, like, there's a reason behind this. It's also because I've done this sort of thing too, right? And I'm not gonna, like, ask someone for money because of this, you know? I've actually used my spending, or not spending, but my, like, food money for gacha games too back in the day when I was younger, but, you know, I'm not like a total idiot that I can't eat anything after the fact. I'm desperate to get this mega ultra rare weapon. It's so shiny. But I can't. I have to quit.
やめるのです。もうそれ以上はいいのです。
Ugh, no use. Can't resist. And well, that leads us to the present. That was a disaster. I never would have expected myself to get so caught up in it. Yeah, but why are you asking for money from her?
自業自得じゃないですか。
I threw all that money into that game of my own free will. I can't fault anyone else for that. It's all on me. Yes, it is. I don't even want to recall how much cash I blew on that. I can't believe I scrapped my savings clean. One button press at a time. At least you don't have a credit card. I don't have a credit card, guys, so I will probably fuck up my limit if I do have a credit card. That's why I don't have a credit card. I didn't stop playing until my bank account was at 0. I don't have a single penny to my name.
レン先輩が金欠なのは分かりましたけど、でもどうしてそれで僕が呼ばれたんですか？
I have no idea. Probably to borrow money, but why you?
もしかしてレン先輩、後輩からお金をせびるつもりですか？ちょっとジャンプしてみろってやつですか？
No, 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 no. What kind of nasty bully do I look like?
じゃあ僕からお金を借りたいってことですか？レン先輩のことは好きですけど、でもお金の貸し借りはちょっと。
I agree. Don't let, like, especially the reason of why Ren actually lost his money. You don't want to lend him money after the fact that he told you that he blew it off on gacha games. Are you kidding me? That's when you enable someone, guys. That's like saying, I gambled all my money off. Can you please lend me some money? That's the same thing.
僕貸せるだけのお金を持ってないので。
Yeah, this whole situation really pisses me off. Wow, Rin-chan just came right out and said she liked me. Not that it's really relevant to the situation at hand. First, I need to clear up my intentions so Rin-chan stops getting the wrong idea. No, that's not it. Just listen, Rin-chan.
ではどういうことなんでしょう？
Well, Rin-chan, I was wondering if you could help me find someone to hire me part-time. Okay. That's not too bad, Ren. That's not too bad.
バイトですか？
Yeah, I figured, you know, maybe you'd know a guy or two who might be able to help. I want her to introduce me to someone who'd hire me. Yup, that's my oh so deep, even Gandhi can't compare reason. I had no intention of pressing her for money or begging in the first place.
バイトのことはそれなりに詳しいはずですよ。お力になれると思います。
Okay, your points are actually rising a bit, Ren. Ooh, that's what I like to hear.
レン先輩はどんなバイトを探してるんですか？
Probably something physical, I guess. Well, I'm not entirely sure yet, to be honest. They're high schoolers, right? I think Japan actually does allow high schoolers to do part-time as long as they have, permission from the school. I don't even know what kind of jobs are available. Kinds of jobs. But I do know that it's a lot more strict when you're like underage. Much less which of those I'd actually want to do. Because here in Indonesia, we technically have that, but there's a lot of just, like non-legal working places that would hire people, guys. And you'd be paid like minimum wage and whatnot. So it's not controlled by the government, so yeah, it's very what do you call it, like, I'm not very well versed in the topic, but it's not some place that you want to work in for sure. Naturally, I'd like to go with whichever option is easiest.
幸いにもここはリゾート地なので短期バイトにはこと書きません。
And I'm not talking about people who are in their high school, guys. I'm talking about people who are children. Like 10-year-old, 12-year-olds. They're working. Like that sort of like behavior. This is a third world country, so for people in the US that don't understand, I could, I'm giving you guys like a, a brief glimpse of how like bad it is in third world countries.
この時期なら海の家の短期バイトなどもあります。あと旅行者向けのバイトとかもありますね。
I've never had a job before. Do you think I can do it? Not that I wasn't ever intending to enter the workforce, to be clear. I simply had my hands full caring for Emmy and running the house in our parents' absence. How would I have found the time to work part-time on top of that? That's all, really.
だったら僕と同じところで働きましょう。
I mean, I'm pretty lucky that my family is well off enough that I didn't have to work part-time, right? But there's definitely a lot of people that had to... Well, I'm not sure if they had to, but... I guess it's also my environment, I guess. I don't know a lot... I don't know any people that actually had to work, yeah, when I was younger. But there's a lot of those people that are not as fortunate, right? And I'm not blind to that side of the world. Huh?
レン先輩が嫌じゃなければですけど、今ちょうど新人さんを募集してたんですよ。先輩なら大歓迎ですよ。
Come work with me, she said. That serves as the perfect jumping off point for me to finally break into the working phase of my life. I mean, working when you're younger, it's not about really the money. I feel like it's about the experience and about, like working in an environment that you are not used to and understanding work culture. That's like the experience that you get. So it's not necessarily a lot of money, but you are going to understand how work culture works. And action.
レン先輩やりましたね。
Yeah. That sure made for a short series of events. Is it always as easy to secure a part-time job? No, I doubt it. It's actually very easy if you have someone that introduces you. Excuse me, but is it really okay for me to be hired just like that?
いいのいいの。だっていつもりんちゃんからあなたの話を聞かされてたんだもの。
シュート店長はそんなことレン先輩に言わないでくださいよ。
What did she have to say about me? I'm a good senpai?
それに
Oh, sorry about that.
採用してあげないとりんちゃんがかわいそうだから。
Actually, double
何か見逃した？
click there. What exactly has Ring-chan been saying about me?
同じ職場で働けるかもってあんなに喜んでたものね。
店長。
I'm not completely sure what the point of this exchange is, but it's good to know the manager's so considerate. I guess she's into me. Like, this is also one of the things I dislike about these harem games, guys. If there was a reason of why I was liked by a lot of these girls, I wouldn't mind as much. There has to be a valid reason. Ren isn't necessarily someone I feel like is popular. Sure, he's quote-unquote kind, but if you remove the kindness from him, he's just a normal guy. Do you see a normal guy getting chased around by 5 females, 6 females, 8 females? No. It doesn't seem like I'm officially on board quite yet, at any rate. But man, I'll need to go balls to the wall working here.
というわけで、りんちゃんには新人の指導を任せちゃうわね。
I feel like in like Ren's case, if Riria likes him and if Emmy likes him, that's understandable. The others, not so much.
それじゃ、あとはもろもろよろしく。りんちゃん、いろいろと頑張りなさいよ。
And I'm being charitable when I'm saying that, guys. Like even people who have like childhood friends don't necessarily are that close to them anymore around this age. The manager leaves the room, giving Rinchan a playful nudge on her way out. I feel like I'm not the target audience when you know for people who play these sort of games, man. I am just way too down. I'm a Debbie Downer, aren't I? But I can't change how I am, guys. This is how I am. If you like this game, more power to you, as I said, but if what I said actually changes your opinion on the game and, you know, affect your opinion on the game, then that means, as I said before, that means that your opinion of the game isn't really that high in the first place. You should have a strong opinion for yourself, right? Like, what I say don't affect you, and what other people say shouldn't affect your opinion. Because it's your opinion. Don't let my opinion sway you, for sure. I want people to think for themselves, not like, you know, like just follow along with what I say. This is how I perceive this game. But if you perceive this in a different way, then feel free. I'm not gonna deny how you perceive this game. The boss seems like a funny lady to me. And so, my time working at the local Lusan convenience store begins. Working alongside Rinchan to boot.
レイ先輩、今日からよろしくお願いします。わからないことがあれば何でも聞いてください。さあ、早速ですがお仕事をしましょう。
Alright.
いらっしゃいませ。お弁当はいかがですか？
I really think that people who work in Lawson should have their own uniform, but I guess they they don't want to get you know, like be in legal issues maybe. I don't know. They're probably not in collaboration with Lawson.
作りたてですよ。おいしいですよ。
We're standing outside the store, barking for people to buy the store's lunches. Rinchan's energetic voice echoes loudly through the streets. The sound of her voice gives me the sense that she's actually having more fun at this job than she does most anywhere else. Seems like you're really enjoying this, Rinchan.
はい、そりゃもう今日は一段と楽しいです。
Hard to tell at a glance, since Rinchan is constantly smiling. And not just because I feel like I'm always bad-mouthing a game or criticizing a game doesn't mean that I'm not enjoying my time with it, guys. Like, the reason why I do these Let's Plays is because they make me think about the situation in the story, right? Which I don't necessarily always do when I'm just playing by myself. I probably overanalyze a lot more when I do these Let's Plays because I'm listening, I'm taking in what they're saying a lot more, what is it, slowly. I'm basically, you know, like not piecing together, but like listening word for word about what the story is trying to convey. When, as I said, when I was playing through this game the first time, I was probably just skimming through what the dialogue was, and just when the 8 scene was coming, I'm like, damn, this scene's hot. That was what I did when I was playing through this game the first time. So, even though I criticize this game a lot still, I'm still enjoying my time with it. With that attitude, her liveliness is contagious even to me. Like, it might not seem like I'm enjoying it because of what the words I'm saying are, but, you know, because I'm not really doing anything other than thinking right now. it's not like it's an extra effort that I have to do, right? Thinking is something that I do on a daily basis. Like we think and live at the same, for till we die. Not to mention that just watching her is entertaining in and of itself. I feel like I'm actually talking a lot more too after the brief, not brief, like a week is quite a long break. After the long break that I did, maybe I needed that long break to just reinvigorate or just invigorate my mind in general. But my eyes have started to wander in her direction and stay that way more often now. I mean, I know how rude it is to stare, but I can't really help it sometimes. Rin-senpai, I have a question. I can't wait to play Amayui though. I'm just saying, I can't wait for the weekends. Not weekends, I guess. I can't wait for Thursday. That's when I start recording Amayui.
わあ、先輩だなんてやめてくださいよ。僕のことはこれまで通り普通に呼んでください。それともリンって呼び捨てで呼んじゃったりしますか？
Okay, fine. Rin-chan, I have a question.
無慈悲なスルー。
Embarrassing as it is to admit, I have zero prior work experience. And I've only ever cooked things my way, so I don't know how Luson prepares their food. I have a heck of a lot to learn from now on. You don't know how they prepare their food? It's freaking frozen shit. What types of lunches sell the best around here?
レン先輩、よくぞ聞いてくれました。これはうちの柴崎家で大人気の鶏天丼です。お袋の懐かしい味がするって人気があるんですよ。
So is this supposed to be like an actual bento store? You know, where you make your own bento and sell them?
ママの味を完全再現しているんです。
Why the hell would we be... I guess we're the cook, right? If we're the cook, it doesn't make sense for us to be talking to Rin-chan right now. See, this is one of those things where my realist mind can't move away from little bits of details that I find that they mess up, guys. If we're actually in a lunchbox store, then you won't have time to actually talk to the person who's literally trying to advertise a store. We're gonna be busy in the kitchen. I see. Mama's cooking, huh? I don't really know the feeling, having never experienced that before, but now I'm curious as to what it's like. As a cook, I can't help but wonder what might achieve that effect.
よかったら試食してみますか？
Can I? If she's offering, I have no reason to decline. I pop a piece of the chicken into my mouth. Then I chew it wholeheartedly. What is this? If I were to describe the taste of this chicken in one word, it would be nostalgic. I've never even had tempura and rice cooked by my mother before. But I can't shake the feeling that somewhere long ago, I've eaten this before. Are you gonna talk about the collective unconscious, Ren? How mysterious that such simplicity of flavor could evoke such complex emotions. I mean, I'm a realist, guys. I don't understand that home-cooked meal sort of flavor. I understand, like, food that my mom used to prepare back when she was still alive, and I could understand that as being nostalgic. But, you know, like, I don't understand a lot of emotions, guys. That's all I'm just gonna say, because I know that people actually say that, you know, when you eat this dish, it's like your grandma's cooking and whatnot, but I don't understand that. I know people say that though. Maybe it's just a saying, maybe they don't necessarily mean that, but I don't know. Oh, mother, I hope you're doing well. Something within pulls slightly at my chest. Actually, no, not slightly. More like a harpist at their peak. This is so damn good.
美味しいですか？それなら朝早くから仕込んで作った甲斐がありました。
Wait, Rin-chan, you make these?
そうですよ。うちのコンビニはこういう厨房で作るお弁当にも力を入れてるんですから。
Damn, makes me wonder how 6-Eleven and the rest do things. 7-Eleven, I guess.
あれはライバル企業ですから、うちも負けませんよ。
What bullshit? You guys sell frozen food. You don't make your own bentos? And Rinchan, if you actually go here in the morning, how the hell are you gonna go to school? Absolutely ridiculous. Are we in... Are we like what? Are we done with school right now? Are we on break? I guess we are. I remember last time in the common route we were going to the beach, so maybe we are on break right now. Rivals, huh?
こっちが一方的にそう思ってるだけですが。
Well, that can't be right. Well, rivals or not, this chicken is crazy good. I kinda wanna take a bucket of it home and have everyone at the dorm try it.
廃棄弁当の持ち帰りは禁止ですよ。
Well, that's not exactly what I had in mind. I can't even imagine that any of this stuff would be left over at the end of the shift. Wonder if I should buy a few portions to take home for dinner tonight. Ren! Are you forgetting the reason why we're working in the first place? We don't got money.
廃棄。特に最近はその取り決めが厳しいんですよ。僕がこっそり持ち帰ったことがバレたせいで。
Is it that hard to only take what the manager says you can?
欲に負け続け、こっそり廃棄弁当を持ち帰ってました。
I mean, you can probably get paid by those unsold lunchboxes. If you put them in the fridge, you can probably last like a day or two.
最近お弁当が当たってしまったことで、そのことが露見しまして。
An issue? Like food poisoning? Were you okay?
でも、この時期は持ち帰ったお弁当以外でも死にかけてますから大丈夫ですよ。この時期は常に死にかけの状態なんです。当たったくらいじゃへこたれません。
On the verge of fainting at this time of year? I have no idea what she's talking about. Sorry, what? I don't get what you mean.
人工族の発情期は死にそうになるレベルですごいんですよ。
Guess that's gonna be how we have sex. Alright. At least they told you this prior. Wait, seriously? Humans don't have to deal with estrus, so I can't really empathize. I mean, some people are, you know, slaves to their instincts, Ren. I figured animals overcome by hormones must have it hard, but damn. This is gonna be a bit personal, but my dad is one of those people that has a really high sex drive, and yeah, that definitely isn't doing him any good, especially now that he's 72. Like, yesterday was his birthday, by the way. Could seasonal libido really be so intense?
僕の発情期の話はどうでもいいんですよ。いや、どうでもよくないんですけど、今はとりあえず置いておきます。問題なのは、僕が持ち帰る予定の廃棄弁当をレン先輩が持っていくかもしれないことです。
Look, I already said I wasn't planning on it. She's keeping up that characteristic obstinate streak of hers. So I actually think it's rather becoming of her.
廃棄弁当は僕が持ち帰るからダメですけど、
Are you listening to what I'm saying, Rinchan?
レシピだったら後で教えてあげますよ。バイトが終わったら一人か一人教えますか？
I'm guessing she's already in heat right now. Rin's face begins to redden as she presents her offer. I'm curious about her choice of the phrase ins and outs. Still, beyond that, I'm delighted to have the opportunity to learn their recipe. Sure. Now let's get right to it so we can finish quickly.
はい、頑張りましょう。
There is no work quickly. What? You're gonna be done once you sell all of the lunch boxes? I mean, I guess? It's not like we get paid by the hour too here in Indonesia. I do my best to shrug off my lack of experience over the rest of my shift with Rinchan. It's yet another day of glorious weather. A perfect day for work. Where we last left off, I had spent my first day at my part-time job. Since then, my days working alongside Rinchan have continued.
レン先輩、そろそろバイトにも慣れてきましたか？
Yeah, all thanks to you.
大変だったりしませんか？
Well, I don't know if I'd say anything's difficult exactly. Though if I were to be honest, I do still have trouble with the sheer amount of products and tasks I have to remember. Plus, we have sales or promo campaigns that change by the day. I think it'll be some time before I'm used to my duties here. But I do have fun here. Every day I learn something new. And I get this sense of fulfillment from it.
それならよかったです。
I have to admit that I get a lot of entertainment from all the interesting people who come here. You do get funny customers sometimes. One of them could have been an understudy for that Kramer character. Kramer? Kramer.
亀吉くださいって言われた時はびっくりでしたね。
That instant "This is Luson's" auto reply you gave was perfectly timed.
鳥天丼の鳥天を抜いてもらえませんかというのもありましたよね。
I straight up went, "What?" when they said that, dumbfounded face and all. Yet those people really do exist. I mean, probably. There's probably one every couple of hundred of days. I know that they're just emphasizing this because this doesn't really happen on a day-to-day basis if you work in real life. But I don't doubt those type of people probably do exist. Just like those people who order a cheeseburger minus the cheese.
きっと鳥天丼のタレでご飯が食べたかったんですよ。
I mean, I still think those people are strange, but, you know, whatever floats their boat.
うなぎのタレでご飯を食べる的な感じですよ。うなぎのタレご飯。あれ、美味しいですよね。僕もたまにやりますから。
Rinchan, you're gonna bring a tear to my eye. And there were other oddball customers too, like...
どうしてアニメコラボグッズをもっと入荷してくれないだよ。物を売るってレベルじゃねえぞ。俺の心の部屋を返してくれよ。
There was actually an event or a collaboration with Pokemon, the KFC here back in the day, maybe a couple of years ago. And my friend actually wanted me to buy it from him because he lives in the US, right? So I bought like a whole bunch of packs and I sent it to him. He paid me, of course, but I felt like I could have charged a lot more because they actually sold for a decent amount. Like a whole set, I believe, is about $150. Pretty pricey. I gave him, what, 3 sets for 200, 300? I think I gave him a couple of sets, yeah.
心をぴょんぴょんさせてくれよ。
As if complaining about it, however spectacularly, would have solved this problem. And that wasn't the worst one.
店長にラブレターを書いてきたので渡してくださいっていうお客さんには驚きましたね。
He's a popular one, our manager.
バリバリのキャリアウーマンで美人さんですからね。
Now that we're reflecting on it, I realize that we've seen a ton of different kinds of people visit the store. Sorry about that, motorcycle was running through my house. It's going through my house. Actually, there have been more absurdly weird people in this store since I started here than I have time to list. And there have been times where the job was hard enough to break my delicate will to work. But I remind myself that I owe the privilege of my employment here to Rinchan. All of this is thanks to her sticking by me. Working here is never too bad with you around, Rinchan.
レン先輩、そんな褒め方されたらますます頑張らなくちゃって気分になっちゃいますよ。よーし、今日はノルマ以上の売り上げを出してみせちゃいますよ。
So eager. Don't get all hyped up over a word of praise, yeah? It's pretty hot out today, and you don't want to get heat stroke out there.
大丈夫ですよ。分かってます、分かってます。レン先輩、今日も一日頑張りましょう。
I don't think I've seen a part-timer this enthusiastic ever in Indonesia. Indonesian people are not as honest, guys. Well, I wouldn't say not as honest, but more like not as chipper. Or maybe this also doesn't happen in Japan too. It's just, you know, an unrealistic thing that we want to see in our games. Like, these sort of characters don't really exist all that much. Rinchan is just a perpetually bright person. And whatever kind of customer she meets, her manners are impeccable. She doesn't shrink back at all when customers get belligerent. Seeing her in action is an instant mood lifter, as far as I'm concerned. I've been growing more and more fond of her with each and every passing day here. So I believe, at least.
お買い上げありがとうございました。またよろしくお願いします。
Today, our shift includes standing outside peddling ice cream. In the sweltering heat of the day, ice cream is practically flying out of the freezer into customers' hands. With the combination of satisfaction and constant flow of customers, time flies by. I feel like it's illegal for you to be doing this stuff. Like, if you're part-timing, you shouldn't be doing multiple gigs like this. Like, say Rin was supposed to just be contracted as a kitchen helper. Sure, she might be helping on her own free will to advertise when she's done with work. And what she's doing outside is just something that she does on her own, but doing this? I feel like it's weird. And like a bento store selling ice cream, it just doesn't make sense. They're cooking and selling ice cream, like what? This store doesn't make sense. Rinchan's cheeks are flushed red. Her voice is starting to sound rather ragged to me as well. Rinchan, are you okay? You don't look too good. Rinchan's balance suddenly leaves her and she starts to lean to the side. I quickly extend my hand to catch her. As she falls into my arms, I'm struck by the gentle feminine sensation of her body. Could she actually be suffering from heat stroke? Looks like she's in serious distress, but her voice sounds more passionate, I suppose, than strained. It's kind of a turn on, to be honest. No, this is the wrong time to get aroused. What the hell am I thinking? Huh? Smell? Do I really reek of sweat? I made sure to wear the right stuff since I knew we'd be working in the heat, but maybe it's just that her half-tiger nose is that much stronger. Friend, did you really forget about the fact that she goes in heat during this time? Ugh, I'm letting my thoughts wander again. I need to take Rinchan someplace cooler, pronto. Just bring her back to the frickin' Luson and let her rest in the back room. Whoa, Rinchan! Rinchan presses her nose against my body, and with long, loud motions, she inhales deeply. Yeah. Yes, you did. Why's she bringing up being in heat now? I mean, I don't know if animals can actually masturbate, guys. But that's how, like, us as humans control our urges, right? I feel like people who think that masturbation is weird are the weird one. But that's also because, as I said, maybe older people probably think that, oh my god, you guys are probably hearing the what do you call it, the grinder again. Give me a sec while I go downstairs. And I'm back. Seems he was only using it for like a couple of seconds there. After I got down, he said, yeah, I just need to do it for a couple of secs. Couple of secs. So weird. But yeah, talking about the grinder thing. So my house actually goes from one alleyway to the next, guys. So it's like a two house combined together, right? And in my other like alleyway side or like, you know, my other neighborhood side, there's actually another person that's using a grinder. Maybe there's like some sort of weird money making scheme or something that people use the grinder for. I don't know. I've been noticing a lot more people actually using that thing, and they're not like renovating their house or anything. It's weird. I don't know why the hell they're doing that. But yeah, continuing on here. Why is she bringing up being in heat now?
ぶっちゃけ今ものすごく発情期です。レン先輩の匂い嗅いだらムラっときちゃいまして、ムラっときすぎて息が上がっちゃいました。体も熱くなってきちゃいまして。
I do wonder if animals actually are able to masturbate. I mean, probably not. Okay, so it's not some kind of acute heat stroke then. Jeez, don't scare me like that. I give an audible sigh of relief. If nothing else, I'm glad the heat hasn't gotten to her.
レン先輩、
Yeah?
もう我慢できないです。慰めてください。僕とご褒美してください。
Mate, she says. I think she literally just asked me for sex. Makes sense. Wait, no, it doesn't make sense at all. It's not exactly ladylike to just come out and say that. Isn't sex reserved for lovers in the first place?
僕はそんな古風なことを言ってるんじゃないですよ。こっちは精子をかけてるんですよ。必死なんです。
So bullshit. You clearly said last time that, you know, this is the type of thing that happened every year. I'm not gonna do this. Like, even if she dies, it's not like my fault if you die from this.
レン先輩は僕のこと好きですか？それとも嫌いですか？
No, I definitely do like you. I'm kind of indifferent towards her and she's alright, but I don't really like her. But liking doesn't equal sex. Yet on the most basic level, I do want to have sex. Of course I do. To whatever extent, I'm a young man.
僕は先輩じゃないとダメなんですよ。
I do wonder if me, like, not wanting to have sex with someone is being pretentious. I don't necessarily think so, but maybe it comes off that way. But I do think I'm just that old-fashioned, guys.
だから問題なしです。
Rinchan,
先輩、僕と交尾しましょう。
I feel like, you know, in Japan's case, they really make light of sex because their declining birth rate is definitely an issue, right, in Japan. But here in Indonesia, where you see a lot of people where, you know, people would have 5 kids, 8 kids, 10 kids. I'm not joking around, guys. There are people like that over here, and I'm like, damn, are you serious? You can't even afford to live, you know, afford money to make yourselves better. Are you fucking serious about having that many kids? They're gonna suffer if you guys die, you know? Heck, even if you guys don't die, you guys are already suffering because you don't have the money to prosper.
ほら、こっち来てください。
I'm talking about something like this when they're clearly just wanting to have sex. Rinchan drags me away from the spot with irresistible force. Struggling in vain, I find myself outside of a grove of trees in the nearby park. Patreon.com Azaikyousuke. See ya, people on YouTube. Even people on YouTube memberships aren't getting these stupid 8 scenes. These 8 scenes are definitely the meat and bones of this game, guys. If you guys play this game for the story, I feel like I can't do it. I feel like if I didn't see this game as like a sexual relief game, this game probably would have been sent back to the trash. I probably would have like refunded this game. I can't, of course, because Steam only refunds games that are, you know, if you haven't played for 2 hours. But yeah, people on Patreon, enjoy. Alright, we're back, YouTube. Jeez, I left for like 30 minutes, I kid you not, to watch to watch a VOD of Oddone playing Romancing Saga 2. So, I've actually been catching up with Romancing Saga 2, guys, and watching people play it is actually really making me want to play it myself. Looks like a really fun JRPG with interesting mechanics. I could understand why this game, like Romancing Saga 2, was like a reference for a lot of, you know, like one of the biggest stories out there. But yeah, I came back and they were still having sex and Rin-chan was going crazy with the pee. I have no idea what's wrong with the author, but they definitely like waterworks, it seems. Like, this is probably the third girl or something that peed with us, or that peed when we had sex. It's not the guy who peed, it's the girls. So yeah. And I'm actually like not really reading these 8 scenes anymore because I kid you not, guys, when you're not horny and you're reading 8 scenes, if they're not funny, I feel like you're losing brain cells. Like, the CG is hot and all, but when you're not horny, the CG can only carry it so far, right? You know. So that's why I left for like 30 minutes. And lo and behold, this game doesn't disappoint. That was like a 40-minute 8 scene. After I came back, it was still going on for about 10 minutes, so I was watching a video on YouTube. But okay, we're back. After letting the last echoes of orgasm fade away, Rin and I make quick work of cleaning ourselves up. We find a water spout at the nearby park and rinse ourselves off as best we can. With all the semen and sweat washed away, we manage to look presentable again. Yeah, I'm not doing that ever again, Rin-chan. Well, in the fandis we probably will. Rin-chan rubs her lower belly to express her contentment. She doesn't have a hint of the anxious craving she did a while ago. The eroticism is still there aplenty though. But yeah, I was talking about how, you know, masturbation and whatnot. I wonder if humans are the only like, you know, animals capable of doing masturbation. I mean, I get it. Like, who doesn't want to prefer sex compared to masturbation, right? But when you're an animal, there's no responsibilities that you have to think about when you have sex and then you produce kids, right? And you know, animals don't even, like, some animals don't even know their own wives. They can't tell because they're not monogamous. They're like polyamorous, I think is the name. Polygamous? I don't know. But yeah, I wonder if animals actually do masturbate. I mean, chimpanzees probably masturbate. I've heard about, you know, them masturbating, but I don't know whether or not they do that because of the same sort of thing that we do, or if it's just they just want to do it. I don't know. I don't know why they do it. Yeah. Whoa. No question about it. I'm exhausted. Yeah, I think Ren came like 4 times, 5 times. It was a shit ton. She made me go at it like an animal, so of course I'm tired. I just ejaculated full blast 4 times in less than an hour. There we go, 4 times. Actually, how am I still conscious? I mean, I'm bulking right now, Ren, and I kid you not, when I'm eating a lot of food, I do feel like I'm a lot more horny. It's a lot easier for me to get horny, I kid you not. Like right now I'm 72 kilograms, guys. I like, this is the heaviest I've been since I like exercised and went to the gym. So I gained like 10 pounds the past couple of months. I plod on after her in the muggy summer heat. I'm planning on cutting back though, probably next year, in about 2 days. My body is heavy from the exertion. Somehow, I managed to hold my body up straight enough to slog my way through the rest of our shift.
おはようございます。さあさあ、レイ先輩、今日も張り切ってバイトに向かいましょう。
Am I like your girlfriend or something? Or your boyfriend now? I don't know. What the hell? What is this epilogue? What are we doing? Rinchan, you don't have to cling to me so hard.
嫌ですか？
Does she always have a midriff? I don't think she always shows her belly button in her normal sprite. She like using skimpier outfits right now? I don't understand. It's not that. It's just kind of hard to walk like this. Or rather, well, we have to lock our elbows like this. Rinchan is surprisingly assertive today. She's never acted this aggressively before. Perhaps the afternoon delight we shared yesterday is to blame.
彼女面するってわけじゃないですけど、責任取ってもらえますよね。
I mean, you were forcing it on me, to be completely honest. Responsibility?
そう、責任です。レイ先輩のたくましいオスの味を堪能したら、僕もすっかりメスになっちゃいましたよ。メスにしちゃった責任取ってください。
Rinchan grins happily, flashing me her canine teeth. That movement feels much more cat-like than tiger-like to me. But it also serves as a reminder that she's a born carnivore. Sure. Responsibility. Responsibility for taking her first time, she means. And for coming inside her. Actually, now that I think about it, I have a lot to own up to from yesterday. The logical next step would be to assume that this means I have to marry her.
責任取ってくれるんですか？取ってくれないんですか？レイ先輩の答えはどっちなんですか？
Like this is a honey trap. Honeypot trap? Whatever you call it. Of course I'll do it. I'll be a proper man for you. I do love Rinchan after all. Sure. You do. Sure. People do say after you have sex once, that's when they start loving you. Ridiculous. I've been seriously considering our relationship since we did that. First, over doubt that I was really the right man for Rinchan.
じゃあ、僕たち今日から恋人ってことですよね。
Rinchan grasps my arm with renewed vigor. He squeezes so hard that it might cut off the blood flow. It's hard to imagine a more effective way to express how happy she is about this. I feel like I really should have made my, comeback let's play or, recording session Amayui. Because like I said, I don't dislike this, but when the H scene starts to come up, I feel like I'm really not doing anything much, and I actually prefer to give my voice, I like talking, guys. I like talking and giving you guys my thoughts about certain stuff. But when the H scene happens, it's just so boring, and I feel like I'm losing brain cells if I take it too seriously. That's why I just leave. I feel like that's how what's the word? That's how I cope with these excessive amount of H scenes. At least in Nukigaze, if the situation is crazy enough, I'd be interested in what the hell is going on. But in these lovey-dovey, like normal visual novel H scenes, I'm like, man, this is boring. And some of the stuff sometimes that they say, the amount of moans and shit, it's really mind-numbing.
レイ先輩
I hate it, but I'm not horny anyway.
匂いがしますね。これなら今日も一日頑張れそうな気がします。それにいい天気ですし、まさに絶好のバイト日和ですね。それと交尾日和。
Whoa. Enough shouting about mating.
さあ、今日も元気にバイトと交尾ですよ。
The work part sounds just fine, but the mating part...
まあいいじゃないですか。発情期の僕としては性欲はそう簡単に収まらないんですよ。むしろ性欲が増しちゃったというか、マシマシという感じなんですよ。 レイ先輩してますか？発情期の虎は2日で100回以上の交尾を行うんですよ。
Yeah, maybe try to find a male tiger then, Ren. 100?
今日は何回くらい交尾してくれますか？昨日よりもいっぱい交尾しますよね。
I wonder if like male animals feel the same way as males, human males do when they ejaculate. Do you get the same tiredness? What are these questions I'm asking? Rinchan is way too sex crazed. He's a carnivore in more ways than one.
今度交尾するときは、レイ先輩の体にマーキングさせてくださいね。
Sure, I guess.
おしっこいっぱいかけさせてください。
Guess that's your kink now, Rinchan. Tama also peed on us, and I forgot who else. It was one of the main heroines. Reika-san didn't pee on us. She's making such a shy, innocent face despite saying such clearly perverted lines. I've unleashed the monster within Rinchan. How could anyone be able to say such things despite such embarrassment? Well, I guess that'd be fine. I don't really mind it.
あと、僕の体にも遠慮なくマーキングしてくれてもいいですよ。僕におしっこかけてください。
I'm surprised this game... Well, I guess this game doesn't want to go to the extreme and have scat. Because some people are gonna say like, peeing is okay, waterworks is okay, but whoa, when it's poop, that's disgusting. And to you guys, I'm gonna say, both are disgusting.
ちょぼちょぼっと遠慮しないでおしっこぶっかけてください。
You do realize I'm not a tiger, right? Is she for real? Is she really telling me to go ahead and pee on her? I mean, if I can, I'd like to try it at least once. Well, okay. If that makes you happy, I'll be glad to.
本当ですか？すっごい嬉しいです。
What a weird chick.
それを聞いたら今日はもっと頑張れそうな気がしてきました。
Rinchan, beaming, ramps up her arm, gripping power to the max. Smells like that are downright contagious. I can't help but crack a grin as well, seeing her so happy. I could have been utterly depressed, and I still wouldn't have been able to hold back a smile.
レイ先輩、これからも僕をよろしくお願いします。
I feel exactly the same way, Rinchan. Not me, Ren, not me. Rinchan's smiling face, with all the cuteness of a contented kitten, is far more radiant than the sun above us. I don't think so, Ren. I think you just think that because you had sex with her.
ポンコツ悪魔。
Alright, I guess that's the end of all of the side routes. It went exactly as I expected. It was just a setup so that they could have sex. Okay, but yeah, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Next episode, we'll start up Arla's route, which is probably going to be done in about 3 episodes, so next week is probably when it's going to be done. Like, I really don't mind doing Let's Plays of this game, but damn, these H scenes, man. Whenever the H scene comes up and I have to just leave because they're so boring. I'm not gonna be horny when I'm recording, guys. You know, I know myself. I probably already fapped before I do this session. I know that's too much information, but come on. We're playing these sort of games anyway, so might as well share things that are a bit too, personal, I suppose. But okay, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give this video a like if you guys like it. Sub if you guys haven't. Patreon will be getting these episodes early access along with everything uncensored. YouTube memberships will also be getting these early access, but not uncensored. So I do appreciate more if you guys go on Patreon instead of YouTube memberships. But yeah, also people on YouTube that aren't on Patreon just yet, feel free to become a free member because that's gonna be where I put first episode previews of YouTube playthroughs. I'm actually saying this a lot more coherently because sometimes I notice that I mumble my outro because there's just so much stuff to say. But yeah, I guess when you're, when you take a short break, you're kind of more coherent with your thoughts, with your voice, with everything, I guess. But yeah, it was a pretty nice break. I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.